Can we come to order, please? Thank you. Tonight's kind of a special evening for a dear friend of mine, Richard Muscatello, and he has his wife, Jo, with him. And Richard, if you come forward, we have a proclamation we'd like to read. On behalf of all of the town of Wheatfield, would you read it? You probably can do better than I can. Whereas Richard Muscatello has served the town of Wheatfield as the founder and leader of the Comprehensive Planning Implementation Task Force for over 15 years with dedication and distinction. And whereas the years have been marked by exceptional service to the town, the volunteers who have served on the committee and the residents within the town of Wheatfield. Whereas Richard Muscatello has led numerous improvements in the areas of planning, including procedures, practices, town codes, and zoning. And whereas the people of the town of Wheatfield wish to extend our deep appreciation to Richard Muscatello for his years of volunteer service, leadership, and devotion of the Comprehensive Task Force by serving as founder, facilitator, and chairman. And therefore, on behalf of the town of Wheatfield, the town board, residents of Wheatfield, on this 20th day of May, we recognize Richard Muscatello for his many years of dedication and service to the town of Wheatfield. Congratulations. Now, if anybody would like to speak about Richard, we'll limit to about 15 seconds so it doesn't go all night. But if anybody would like to speak, they're more than welcome. Anybody like to speak about Richard? Richard, stay right here for a second. Okay. No one? Everyone? Okay, I have something I'm going to read. This is for me personally. But I've known Richard for many years. I've known Richard for many years, and not just in a working environment. I consider him a close and dear friend. Richard has been close through good times and sad. Although I have not heavily been involved with the focus groups over the years, I do recognize his accomplishments with the town and efforts he has made for numerous, even mentioned. I certainly remember my days on the planning board with Richard. He would always give 100% on every project that came before them, no stone unturned. I can assure you, when the project was approved, there was not one thing that was overlooked. Even as supervisor, I turned to him for advice. We have lunch every 2 weeks and solve the problems of the world. Of course, Don Profak, he's here. He helped with the problems. Sorry, I lost my place. The world, but I've always had a few questions for Richard when we're having lunch. He never says do this or that. He always says, well, maybe you ought to try this, or maybe you ought to try that. And in the end, he makes me feel like I actually made the decision when it was his idea to begin with. I remember when I started as supervisor, he said, it's about dealing with people, Don, all types, and he was right. And now when I complain, he just smiles. Richard, you're a true friend and the most valuable asset to the town of Wheatfield, and Wheatfield is a better place for your tireless work and leadership through the years.
Before I cry.
No, I'm crying.
Well, firstly, I'm impressed, all of you guys that are here. I thank the board and the boards that preceded you for the last 20 years for allowing me to bring this concept into the town of Wheatfield. That's the task force concept, which is actually a continuous quality improvement that's used in most institutions. And I saw it as a possibility here. And I think throughout the years, we came up with 92 significant improvements as a result of our 20-some years of existence. Of course, the leader is only as good as the people who are supporting him, and all of you who are here from the task force and the focus groups, I look at you and thank you. And I'm sure you know how to do a SWOT analysis, because we did enough of those. You know, interesting enough, I had to make a serious medical decision a couple months ago, and I sat down, what am I going to do? How am I going to figure this out? So I pulled out and I did a SWOT analysis. I brought it to my doctor. My wife was there, and he said, can I have a copy of this? And his nursing staff came and wanted to know how to use this information that they have. And again, I thank all of you for your contribution and your sacrifices. And I want to just highlight my wife, who was probably the major sacrificer, because every day after supper I go upstairs and go to my computer, and I'm there until about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, to come down and ask her what's on TV, because I never saw the TV. I never get the story from the beginning. So I thank you, and I thank my wife, and I thank the board. Thank you very much.
You know, the sad thing, I gave Richard a copy of what I wrote to him, and tomorrow I'm going to get it back with punctuation and corrections.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.